it's Carolyn the Contest Queen, and I'm with Wendy. She's my longtime sweepstakes buddy. I have known Wendy since 2008. Yeah, I had to actually sit and think about how long it's been since we've been friends.
Long time.
And this is the best part of the hobby that nobody talks about. I never knew when I entered my first sweepstakes that I would make friends for life and have adventures with people that I never would have met had I not started entering as a hobby. Wendy, tell them how many trips we've been on together.
We've been on many trips, and we've been to conventions together. We have a story like from almost every convention we've been on, like crazy stories with crazy things that happen. And we spent a lot of time outside sweeping, just going shopping and getting our hair cut. Remember when we went to get our hair cut in the city at that crazy place? It took like 12 hours to give us a haircut. Remember?
It wasn't 12 hours, but it was long.
It felt like 12 hours.
It felt like 12 hours.
Felt like 12 hours. Like things like that. So there's a lot of stories about our friendship that takes place even outside of sweeping. But everything started at a sweepstakes convention.
Yeah, that's where I met her. I met her in 2008. There was a mini in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Anybody old-fashioned remember those?
You spoke because you, way back in the day, had a blog.
Had a blog.
What was it called again? I can't remember.
It's really only a purple world.
Oh, that's right. Her favorite color is purple.
Yep. And I did giveaways on the blog. And in those days, the giveaways, blog giveaways, were something really new. So I did a presentation about some of the things that I had learned about blog giveaways, actually being a blogger who was working with companies, promotional companies to do giveaways. So I did a talk, and that's how we kind of came to each other's attention. I don't remember much more than that, though.
I remember that I cornered you and I got you to sit and show me on my computer some of the stuff, because I was also running blog giveaways.
Yeah, it was all new.
Yeah, it was all new, and it was helping me because I also teach people. So if I could understand it, then I could teach everybody else. It was helping me figure out how to teach. So we sat in the lobby. I'll never forget this. Actually, almost like this, side by each, with my laptop.
Yep.
And in the hotel lobby.
Yep.
And she was showing me things, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea this, and oh my gosh, I had no idea that. It was so interesting. And then we just kept in touch, and then I saw you at another event, and I can't remember, it was a while. Oh, I remember what happened. I was going through my divorce, and I started planning a sweepstakes tour.
Yes.
Because I needed to get out of the house.
The great sweepstakes tour, I remember.
So in 2013, I needed to be out of the house for about a month because we were still both living in the same place, and I decided I wasn't going to stick around for this 30-day period. So I was so sad, and my sweeping buddies started saying, well, why don't you come stay with us for a couple of days? And pretty soon I kind of started planning this trip to Florida and back. And basically I was trying to find places to stay in certain states, and Wendy said, when you get to New York, stay with me. Sure. And that was it. That solidified our friendship. I remember I stayed with you. First of all, I showed up and she had New York's finest pizza waiting for me for dinner. Oh my gosh. And then we went and ran the event in the city. At this tea shop, I had rented a space.
Oh, I remember.
I had rented a space, and I think we had like 20 people attend this little seminar on. It was called the Secrets to Winning Sweepstakes Tour. That's what I called it.
It was a little tea shop, I remember.
A tea shop, and it was so great because we all got tea and coffee. No, they didn't have coffee at this place. It was just tea. And then I gave out prizes, and then we were finished. It was only for about 2 hours and a bit. And then she was going to show me around the city. And that was so much fun. We actually had someone drive us in, so we gave him all the equipment.
Oh, yeah.
And he got it home. So I didn't have to worry about.
And then we went shopping.
And sightseeing. And she took me all over. I saw. We went into Central Park and we walked around. Oh my God, it was amazing. So I had so much fun. Yeah, and shop. Of course, there's always shopping. We do like our shopping together. And so we've been friends ever since. And then, so that solidified it. And then I think in 2014, I came down to visit you.
Yeah, you started coming like every 6-7 months.
I would just come for a visit. And just hang out because she was my friend, and we'd make plans. And then in 2015, we went to Boston together. We were roomies at the convention. 2016, 2014, we were in Orlando together.
Yeah.
We were roomies. Then in 2016, we were in Boston together. No, that was 15. 16, we were in Las Vegas together. And then I haven't seen her since then. Life took us like this, and then COVID, there was no visiting. And so I couldn't believe it when I saw her. I arrived today. She got the longest dog ever. Oh, no, I miss you. This is the best part of the hobby. If you haven't made friends yet, sweepstaking, you got to get on it. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, and also post all your questions because we can both answer them. So why don't you tell them they all know my story. You tell them how you started sweepstaking.
My origin story.
Your origin story.
And I don't think I tell the story very often because most people don't ask. So back in about the year 2000, I had gotten my first computer because computers were still a novelty back in 2000. And I remember, I don't even know what site I went to, and I did something, and I wound up winning a digital camera.
Ooh.
And in those days, a digital camera was like, oh wow, a digital camera was like $500, like a fortune in those days. I won a digital camera, and I said, wow, I won a digital camera. What else can I win? And I discovered a site which some of you old folks, like the people that have been in for a long, long time, remember a site called OLS, or Online Sweepstakes. And it was before I win, and before Sweepsheet, and before Sweeping America, and before Carolyn, even before a lot of these sweepstakes sites came up. It was an aggregate site, and it was a paid subscription and a free subscription, and it was a sweepstake listing site. And most people used OLS. That was the site in the day. And I discovered OLS, and from there on, I became a sweeper.
Actually, Sweepsheet was around, but it was only mail.
It was only mail.
It was only mail at the time.
Yeah,
which
OLS
is
was
why
the first online one.
Yeah, so if you were online, the Sweepsheet was still really mail based, and so it wasn't as modern, I guess. And Bill says I miss OLS.
Yeah, OLS was the great site. I won so much from OLS, especially because I was a paid member. I did the paid portion of it, which a lot of people didn't do. It wasn't a big thing. So it was a much smaller group, and the paid ones were the really, the hard to find ones, and the ones with all the answers to the, the questions and the codes and things like that. And it was a very comprehensive, for its day, it was a very comprehensive site. So I know I miss it too. It was a really cool site. I really miss it too. I won a lot of things. I won my biggest sweepstake ever.
Ooh.
My biggest sweepstake ever. I won.
You found it on OLS.
I found it on OLS, and it was through Marriott timeshares.
Ooh.
And it was 2 million American airline miles, 2 million Marriott points, and $5,000 in Hertz gift certificate. To this day, that was back in like 2001. To this day, I still have miles. I have not paid for a flight in almost 20 years. Yeah.
So where are you taking me?
I've gone a lot of places. I've gifted a lot of trips to people. I've brought people different places. I've taken people on vacation. That was my biggest win ever. I also won my first trip win. And my first trip win was to a beautiful private villa in Jamaica for a week, all expenses paid.
Oh my God.
And I cannot tell you the amount of people when I won it back in those days and said, it's a scam. You're going to get there. It's going to be a shack, with like no running water. And it was a private villa that Jack Nicholson and Celine Dion had stayed in previous to me being there. So that was my first trip win. And that was also from OLS.
See, that's the other thing now. Technology is so advanced that, and with all the live streaming services, if you're somewhere, you could literally turn on your phone camera and start filming to show people how amazing things are.
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
And you couldn't do back then, so people really thought it was a scam. I think more people are coming around to, yeah, you really can win those prizes. But I find it interesting that you don't think that winning all those points is a trip win.
I've never considered it a full trip win. I've won trips since then, a number of trips I've been on. But no, because that I decide where I'm going to go, which is kind of a beautiful thing, because I've been able to go all over the place with the miles. And it also gave me permanent platinum status. So the beauty of that is now you have to pay to check your bag, not when you're platinum. Most normal people have to get the status and keep it up every year. It reverts back to zero. And you have to fly like so many miles and spend so much money. Not me. I'm a lifetime, because I had 2 million miles. I'm a lifetime platinum American member. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember this because when we went to Orlando, we took 2 different flights. I used my miles and I flew, I think it was Toronto, New York, Orlando. And you just, we couldn't get the same flight from New York to Orlando, but you used your miles and you came in all she.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to that. It's a beautiful thing. You know, sometimes you don't realize the value of something that you win until later on. A lot of prizes that I won, I've gifted to people, and they tell me afterwards, "Oh, I used it for this. It made such a big difference for me," or whatever. So sometimes you get something, and you're like, "What am I going to do with this?" And then you find something to do with it, and it becomes this amazing thing that you'd never realize the value of when you actually won it. But that was probably also my biggest ticket. I think my biggest ticket thing that I ever
Yeah,
won.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. And it was the Marriott timeshares, which everybody always, they're going to spam you, don't enter them. And I'm like, no, go one entry, do a fake number or whatever. You might as well, because if you're not in it, you can't win it. That's right. That's the saying for sweepers. So.
Well, wait, you don't want to give a fake phone number, because if they try and call you.
No, but you can do these Google numbers now, which will come to your phone but doesn't show up.
That's actually that's a good security tip.
Yeah.
To do if you're uncomfortable giving out your cell number, that's a good idea. Get a Google number and forward it to your cell. That way you can still be reached. It's a real number, but it's not directly to your cell phone. So if you are called, then
yeah, you have to pick up. There's been a number of sweepstakes that I wind up being the one that picked up. Like, they had credit calls to other people first, and they didn't pick up the phone, and then I pick up the phone. So I always, even now, I always pick up the phone.
Oh, I always pick up the phone. I always get excited, and then sometimes it's the robocall, and I'm so disappointed. I'm like, when is somebody calling me to tell me I won the car?
When's my next trip, or my next, big win or whatever. But that's all right. I've been pretty much consistently winning about 2 trips a year since I started. So I won I don't even know if I remember them all, but quite a number of trips. And most of them.
Well, that would be
great experiences.
If you've been winning 2 trips a year, have you had any gaps? Because that would.
I had some gaps.
I was going to say, because that would be 40 trips.
I'm not at 40. I know I'm at least over 20. I'm at least in the between 20 and 25 range.
Okay, so we're the same, because last month I won trip number 23.
Yeah, big ones, big trips, small trips.
Yeah, I consider all of them a trip. If I'm staying somewhere
trips.
overnight, like I won a weekend away at a bed and breakfast with dinner gift certificates, the boat cruise, and I took my daughter away. It was only 2 hours from our house, but I'm like, that's a trip win, because we're staying over somewhere.
I went a weekend in New York City a couple of times.
Yeah.
I consider that a trip win, because it came with Broadway show tickets and dinner. They flew me one time. Oh, the best. They flew me.
Where?
What? They flew me to Washington, D.C. So it's one of these.
Wow.
It's one of these obscure sweeps, and it was the international. I forgot the name of it. Oh, wow. It's like when you have an idea, there's a legal group that protects things like intellectual property. That's what it was, intellectual property. And I can't explain it, because I really don't understand it. If any of you are lawyers, maybe you know more about it than I do. But it was one of these sweeps that nobody really enters. I found that I entered, I won. It was this all-expense trip to Washington, D.C. with
Holy cow.
flight and meals. And the best thing was this banquet at the National Portrait Gallery. They closed it in the evening and did a private party, which was so over the top. It was funny. But the best thing was I was sitting there at a table with all lawyers. Now, I'm the only sweepstakes winner. I'm not identified as a sweepstakes winner. I just have my name. We're all wearing name tags with a law firm. I think I don't even know what I put. And they're talking, intellectual property at the table, and they come to me, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like talking to it tonight. Just go on to somebody else.
That's a good answer. Oh my God.
Like, I don't want to talk shop.
I don't want to talk shop. I'm out.
Because I don't know what to say because it was all lawyer.
Oh, okay. So here's a good question. We're so cute. Thank you very much. And which international trip was the best? Well, you go first. I know which mine was.
Oh, my bucket list. One of my bucket list trips, a trip to Israel.
Oh.
So I won. Some of you old timers might remember British Airways did a trip.
Oh.
About 100 people won, and you had to. They were getting into video conferencing, and you had to say how it would help your business. So I was in healthcare, and I wrote something up. It was one of these things you had to write. You had to write an essay, which don't ever be afraid to write an essay because they're not looking at your grammar, your spelling. They're looking at the ideas you have. So just put it down on paper and send it in. Like, don't let it scare you that you're not a good writer. But you had to write like what you would use video conferencing for or not use video conferencing for. I don't remember, whatever. And I wrote it out and I won. And they flew us to England, in London. They put us up overnight. And then they said, we will fly you anywhere in the world that British Airways goes. And I didn't know where to go. And then somebody said to me, like, hello, I should have had a VA. Go to Israel. I'm Jewish. And Israel is like, every Jew wants to go to Israel. And I went to Israel. And
was that your first trip to Israel?
My first and only trip so far to Israel. So that was probably internationally my biggest, favoritist, best international trip ever.
See, that's amazing because you can win bucket list items from this hobby. So if you have, a lot of people struggle with I want to do this, but I don't have any money. You don't need the money. She went to Israel for free. Her dream trip for free. So if you have a bucket list place or thing like some people have the Super Bowl, some people have the Oscars, some people have somewhere in Europe, like London, Paris, and Rome tend to be big ones. Australia, go to Sydney, Australia, anything whatever your bucket list place is, search out sweepstakes for that place or ones that you could hobble together, like winning just the airfare, and then you could win maybe a hotel gift certificate or Visa gift card to cover that, and you could hobble a bucket list trip together, and it won't cost you anything. So you could cross one off the list for free, and we have living proof. That's the other reason I like to have other sweepers on my show, because I don't want people to think it's just me.
Yeah, no.
There's lots of people like Wendy. Well, not like Wendy, but you know what I mean. I know we've been friends for so long. Oh God, don't start crying on the show.
She's gonna make me cry.
I know, we've been friends for so long. So yeah, but see, that's the good thing about it. You make friends for life. But
once you're doing this for a while, you start out for selfishness. I mean, like let's get real. We want to win, right? We want stuff. We want to go places. We want money. We want stuff. That's all beautiful things. Yeah. But once you get past that and you win the stuff and you win the money and you win the trips, you win a lot more. So I really enjoy giving stuff to people. I've been able to do things and give things to people that I normally wouldn't have been able to because of my wins. So it might not be my ideal thing to win, but it's somebody else's in my circle of friends or family that it's their ideal thing. So I can gift or I can bring them along with me. You also get to go and do these really incredible things. And people that have been sweeping for a while will tell you stories about these incredible experiences and behind the scene and backstage and behind the lines and the Super Bowl, or whatever, that normal people don't get to do. But we get to do it. We walk the red carpet at award shows. We're sitting behind the 50-yard line at the Super Bowl. We're partying with celebrities. I had a trip win with Maroon 5 at a rooftop party in San Diego, and limo to and from the concert and front seats, and then a party with the band. Like, I was hanging out with Adam Levine. Like, when do you get to do that? You don't get to do those things, but I got to do it, and I got to bring my sister and some other people with me at the time. And the reason I got to do it was because I take 3 seconds and I enter a sweepstakes. So you find out that there's so much more to just sitting behind your computer hour after hour entering sweeps. It becomes larger than yourself even. And you're really able to give back so much to other people. And I, for one, really enjoy that aspect of it. And I enjoy the uniqueness. I enjoy the stories. And I enjoy being, oh, remember I did that. Or yeah, I did that. Or, those kind of things. So that's what you get out of it if you stick with it and you see past just the wins that are in front of you. You see the longer games, the things that you win that really you can kind of own and embrace, and friendship.
I know, this is such a bonus. I like I said, I started entering a year after Wendy did. I started in 2001, and I was entering for stuff because who doesn't want stuff?
I love stuff.
And it was interesting because my ex, I call him my husband. I know, I love that. I heard it one time and I'm like, I'm using that. He was kind of poo-pooing it. You'll find this with a lot of people. If you're the one that's starting out, you haven't won anything big yet, or won just a few like t-shirts and things, small stuff, until the momentum gets going and you win big stuff. Sometimes people around you poo-poo it. Like you said, they think it's a scam or you're wasting your time. And he poo-pooed it until I won. He used to love car racing. And until I won him a weekend at the Molson Indy with gold grandstand passes and a lap around the pace in the track in a pace car. And this was a one in a lifetime. He couldn't get over that one. And after that, it was like, hey, are we in, he'll spot a giveaway somewhere. Are we in that? Are we entering this? Have you started entering this and that one yet? And it's funny how... Or
go ahead and win me. Go ahead and win me 3 days and 4 nights at the Westin in Florida with breakfast and lunch included, please. I'm like, listen, it doesn't work that way. Like,
yes. I've had George. So my boyfriend says to me like a couple of weeks ago, hey, and it was Wednesday, and he says, this Saturday we want to go to the Blue Jays game. Can you win me tickets? I'm like, what?
It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. I really wish it did, and it just doesn't work like that.
It does not work like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, I haven't seen the baseball contest for a while, and then the few I have, they're like for things at the end of the season, so they have like a longer entry period, and it's not
I might not win.
And I might not win, so just go buy the tickets.
Yeah, that's a pitfall that I run into with people that don't sweep, beyond the scam, and I'm afraid to give my number and all the things that every one of you have heard a million times, I'm sure, is from our significant others or our friends and family. Oh yeah, go win me this.
Okay, so we're gonna answer some comments here. Gretchen says Australia is my bucket list because my grandmother's from there. Yes, go find every giveaway to Sydney, to Australia, to airline tickets,
miles,
to cruises, to miles,
gift cards,
anything that can get you there. I'm going to tell you, it's a must go because I lived in Sydney, Australia for a year when I was 25. Oh, so long ago. 30 years ago, I lived in Sydney, Australia for a year, and it is a bucket list place for sure. I want to go back too. So you got to do it. Oh, Michelle says, I saw some people who had won this. I'm going on a private jet next week to golf and have lunch. I won a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I saw some winners of this. This is like a once in a lifetime amazing experience. Like, when are we just going to jet for golf and lunch? So congratulations.
Congratulations.
And take a lot of pictures videos, everything. You're gonna remember this for the rest of your life. It's gonna be amazing.
And embrace it when you go. Embrace it. Like if they want you to do like a funny pose for a promotional picture, do it. If you embrace the win when you go on some of these wins, because the sponsors want of the product that they're promoting with the sweepstakes, a lot of times come and take videos and pictures. And if you're really animated and if you're really excited about the product and they ask you and you talk to them, sometimes you get extra stuff. And I know a lot of people have gotten extra things because they went to these things and they were very animated and very excited about the win, and they did everything, make a funny face, and they made the funny face, and they really embraced the nature of the win. So go ahead and embrace being on the plane. Be like, wow, this is like the greatest thing since like white bread. Like, don't be afraid to do that, because the sponsors want to see that you're excited. They want this to be a once in a lifetime experience, and you'd be surprised how much more generous sometimes that they'll be with people that do that.
It's true. I remember my husband loved baseball, crazy for baseball, and we had won behind the plate thing, passes. They got to go down early and meet the players. They got to do this. It was like this huge package. And my father-in-law had moved across, my father and mother-in-law at the time had moved across the country. He was such a Blue Jays fan, because we're from Toronto. He flew across the country to join my husband on that prize. The sponsor happened to phone and was asking, and I was home. And so they were asking their sizes because they wanted to make sure that the jerseys and things were right. So the grand prize winner, my husband, was getting a jersey and a hat and all this stuff autographed, blah, 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 blah. The guest of the winner was only going to get a t-shirt. When I told them that he was flying across the country to come to the game because he loved the team that much, they were so impressed that they gave him the same set that my husband got. So he got the jersey and the hat, and the autograph, and all the extra stuff, because they couldn't believe that someone loved their team so much that he would fly halfway across the country to come and see the baseball team play. And so, so if you are enthusiastic and you love stuff, they will increase the prize. They were so impressed with that. I'll never forget that. And also, I just saw this with Kate. Okay, Kay, we're sending you fairy dust. Come on, fairy dust. Kay is having a bit of a dry spell, and we are going to soak you in good vibes and fairy dust.
It happens. Don't give up. If you want to decrease the amount of hours you're doing, that's fine. But don't give up, because remember, if you don't enter, you can't win. That's the bottom line to sweepstaking. So if you just say, I'm not winning, and you go like this, you're not entering, you're not going to win. Just got to keep trying. Try to focus on local sweeps. If you find yourself in a dry spell, go for the local sweeps. Go for the ones with essays, TikTok, movies, videos, the ones that less people are entering, that your odds are a little better. Focus on those maybe and give that a little bit more love, and maybe that will help bring some more luck to you.
Yeah, that's okay. And Tabitha calls her husband too. That's funny. Also, Andy, this is a good tip, because gratitude goes a long way. We always try to send emails to the sponsors. So, yes, it's a really good idea. I don't do emails as much anymore because it's going through an agency and whatnot. I tend to thank them on the platform that I won. So if I won something, so for example, I did a short video on how I won my first cooler. I can't believe I've been entering for 21 years and I never won a cooler, a big hard side cooler.
Oh, yeah,
and it was, no, it wasn't a Yeti, but it's gorgeous. I know, show off. So I know there was a comment here earlier. Hang on. She said, I got to find it. I was laughing so hard when she came on and said, Anne says, contest queen, I've won 4 coolers this year and 2 are Yetis. Anyway, we went and bought some of the beer because it was from a beer company. We bought 2 6-packs and we put it up on our patio and we took a picture and I put it on Instagram and I said, thank you very much. And also when they called me, I said, George fishes, and our current cooler gets fish in it, and this one, no fish in this cooler. And so I posted that, and so just be a little cheeky sometimes and funny, and they love it. And so I showed the patio, and you can see our patio table in the background and the fire pit and stuff. So it looks like, oh, they're gonna be entertaining with this product. They have the beer there. They love our brand.
Yeah, it won't disqualify you from future sweepstakes just because you're acknowledging that you won something. I mean, it's one thing if you're flooding them with phony emails, but you're not doing that. You're saying, you know what? I won something that I appreciate winning, and it meant something to me. And I'm letting you know that all the work that went in to designing the contest and promoting the contest and judging the contest and notifying the winners and getting you that stuff, because they have to jump through hoops. They have to mail it, or they have to, they have to put together the package or whatever it is they have to do. You're just saying, thanks for all the things that you did. I really appreciate this win. Like, this was a great win for me. Sometimes you also win experiences. So I won a trip from Marlborough once a couple years ago, and it was an essay sweep. And it was to go work on the Continental Divide Trail, to do trail work. So most people might say, I don't want to go do that on a trip, but this was Marlborough of Philip Morris sponsoring it. So everything was like top of the line experience. So they not only gave us money and flew us out and had picked us up, but they bought us all clothing, and they put us all in suites in a beautiful hotel, and they rented out restaurants, and they gave us all type of gifts, and they made the experience amazing. And I was out in Wyoming in the Teton National Forest on the Continental Divide Trail, tamping a trail and signing my name to a board on a bridge. And I'm like, you know what? This is really cool, because I would never go to Wyoming and volunteer to work on a trail. But here I got a chance not only to do a sweepstake, but I got a chance to actually do something good for the world. And there's a lot of sweeps I see going on where you do like charity work. Like you might go and, we need people to come do this, and it's a sweepstake to do that. Don't be afraid of those. Don't think that they're not going to take care of you. The sponsors of the big companies will take excellent care of you no matter what you're doing. They will make sure that you're safe. They wouldn't let us get 2 feet away from them because they were afraid of something happening to us. So they will take care of you. They will take care of all your accommodations. Everything will be first class, and you'll get to give back to the world. So I know that my name is on this trail on the Continental Divide. That's cool.
That is really cool.
That's very cool.
This is a good question. Do I offer a class on Boolean searches for sweepstakes? I currently don't, but maybe that's an idea. And I believe Tom Cavalli in Sweeper University, I think it is, if you Google it, does, but he doesn't hold them often. So maybe it's something I should be offering.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I'll figure that out, because right now I teach the 2 main classes that are the most popular are how to win sweepstakes on social media and sweepstakes for beginners, because I cover all the basics, especially for people that are just learning. And this is good. Look at that. Wyoming is on hubby's bucket list. Love the karma charity giveaways. Well, I don't see Wyoming as a prize too much. So if you focus on the Air Miles giveaways or the Visa card giveaways, or the ones that you can just pick wherever you want to go, I'm sure you could bucket list item his dream for free.
I think also if I'm a big person on subscribing to sweepstakes aggregate sites. Pick the one you want. There's lots of ones to pick from. I'm not going to recommend other than Carolyn's, one or the other. They're all good, and they have a paid section. It's worth it. You'll get it back in your first win. It's a couple of dollars a year, and they oftentimes will have a lot of these charity type sweepstakes. Some of these more like off the grid kind of stuff that a lot of people aren't entering. You can find a lot of that stuff in some of these sweepstakes aggregate sites. So I would really recommend find one. Do like a month here, a month there, until you find the format that you like, or the one that kind of resonates with you and makes the most sense, or that's the easiest to use, and stay with that. And they will lots of times alert you to some of these charitable give back kind of sweepstakes. These more kind of unique niche kind of things that aren't as mainstream as like Coca-Cola and Philip Morris and and Budweiser and some of the other ones.
Yeah, we like the beer contests.
Yeah, everybody likes the beer contest.
Well, because they have okay, so Michelle says she took his class, but it wasn't Boolean search. Well, then I'll have to look at putting something together after my next book is done, because I need to finish it, and I'm about a quarter of the way through, and I wanted it published this year, so I got to get a boogie on. Oh, look at that. See, I love this hobby, and I've won some great prizes, right? Like, and the thing is there's so many prizes out there that everybody can be a winner. Like, oh, Wendy won this, and I won that, and Kay won this, and Michelle won that, and Nancy won. Like, it's just,
your turn will come. You will win something. If the longer you do it, the odds are with you. You will win something. I can't guarantee what it is you will win, whether it's going to be big or small, but you will win. You just have to. You have to enter. You have to enter, and you have to learn. The more you learn about sweepstaking, the better you get at it, the better you are at increasing your odds. And that's what it's really about. And that's what most sweepstakes will tell you, that you try to find things off the grid, things that are local, things that are short run, things that require code words, essays, videos, not so many entries. So if they're giving away 100 prizes and they have 300 entries, you got a good 1 in 3 shot. If they're giving away 100 prizes and they have 30,000 entries, you're not that good. So you only have a limited amount of time. Focus on the things you really want. Focus on some of the things that are harder. Use your skills. If you're a good baker, there's a lot of baking sweepstakes where you bake something, you take a picture of it, you write a recipe, and a lot of big prizes, big ticket prizes. And you'd be surprised how few people actually enter those, because most people don't want to go through the trouble of baking something. So if you're a good baker, bake.
Oh, absolutely. And work on taking good pictures of the products. Like, take a look. Here's a tip. If you like the baking and cooking contest, for example, there was one that we had in our area that was for a pasta contest, and they had done it last year and they did it this year. And you could enter online, and then if you baked or cooked something with one of their products and then posted it on Instagram, you got like an extra number of entries, because you had to tag them and use the contest hashtag. But if you went back, the tip was go back to last year's and see who won and what the picture was they shared, and then use the hashtag to search out this year's entries and see what your competition is. And then you can get a sense of where the bar is and what you have to do. So you might want to enter. So if the contest is open, say, for a month, you might want to kind of plan your stuff out, but enter in the last week, because you have a chance to see what the competition's doing. Mm-hmm. I know some people that wait till the last day, but that makes me too nervous. I don't want to cut it that close. So I would enter in the last week, but that's some people's strategy is to do that, is to enter the last day. Okay. So this is a good question. Is it worth entering American contests as a Canadian if it's open to both countries? I do if it's single entry and I really want the prize, because I figure it only takes one to win, and you can't win if you don't enter. But if it's a daily or a really small prize, I don't enter it. Like if it was, if it was for $100 prize and I know that there's going to be tens of thousands of entries, no, I wouldn't enter it. But if it's like a trip to the Super Bowl, and well, actually, I'll give you an example. There was a Super Bowl contest. There was only one that was open to both Americans and Canadians. All the rest were just Americans. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to enter this one, and I'm going to enter it hard, because you had to take pictures during the commercials. And then while the players were playing, I could enter on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I alternated them one after another. So it's flipping social platforms. You tag the sponsor, use the hashtag, say something about why you wanted to go to where it was that you were taking a picture of. And then whatever the picture was, I kind of said, oh, that looks like, I don't know, Costa Rica. This one looks like Florida. This one looks like Palm Springs. This one looked like Italy. This one, whatever it was, I was just making, I'll go anywhere. And in the end, I won one of the gift cards. So as Wendy was saying, I'm taking my sister and her husband and George. I'm not leaving him home. And the 4 of us are going away because my sister got married. And then they said, oh, we'll go in the spring. We'll go on our honeymoon in the spring. Yeah, and COVID shut everything down. And for her 50th birthday was that year. I didn't get to take her away. And then that year I was a little bit broke, so I didn't buy them a wedding gift, and I was feeling a little bit guilty. So now I get to
make it up.
Get to make it up to them, and it's so fun.
You get to make it up in a great way too, because you're getting to do something that normally you wouldn't have even had the money, or you wouldn't even think about. Like, I would never think about doing this, or something that you can't buy. I mean, a lot of the wins in sweepstaking is not tangible wins, or not concrete wins. You know, I was able to give this experience to somebody, or I was able to do something like so amazing and so singularly, something that doesn't comes along once in a lifetime. One of my favorite wins was, I'm a longtime circus geek, right? I've loved the circus since I was a little girl. And that's the thing about me. Now everybody knows. And they had a sweepstake. There was a circus called Ringling Brothers, which no longer is in existence. They had a sweepstakes about a number of years ago with a backstage tour. And what the most important thing of what I just said was, the Ringling Brothers never did backstage tours, even for celebrities. You couldn't buy it. You couldn't ask for it. They just didn't do it. And they had a sweepstake, and it was a backstage tour, and I won it. And I could care less about flying to Jamaica and a million miles. I would have given them all back, because I got an elephant picture. The elephant made me a picture. I have the picture to this day. To this day, my favorite sweepstake win was the backstage tour of Ringling Brothers. It fulfilled every bucket list I had when I was a child, and like a dream come true. No one else has ever won this. And I have an elephant picture drawn by an elephant. Like, where else can you go that you can get something like that? So think about that sometimes, about that kind of experience, being able to get that. And the search terms for that were, giveaway and circus. I set up a Google search, giveaway and circus, and that it came up on some obscure blog. I think there were 4 entries. It was like nobody wanted to go. Like,
well, there you go.
I did.
Bill says, I love trip sweeps that are one-time entry. Actually, I just did a blog, like a newsletter, and it was all about single entry sweepstakes, especially for people that are new, that are overwhelmed with trying to find giveaways and reading the rules and, getting themselves organized. Just getting used to the system of finding, organized, entering, and winning. I say, if you're short on time, or if you're overwhelmed, if you're just starting out, single entry sweepstakes are great, because everyone has even odds of winning, and it's one time and forget it. And so I love those.
And local sweepstakes I've done a lot of good wins from local sweepstakes.
Oh, I heard about this Duncan RV thing. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I had won a Duncan RV for a week. It was filled with swag and $1,500 check. It was my favorite win so far. Now I need to win an RV. Yeah, that's the only sad thing, is you didn't get to keep it.
Mark, there's this guy, if you want to win an RV, a lot of sweepers have won through a guy named Marcus Lemonis, I think his name is, on Twitter. Ask around, ask other sweepers, and they'll tell you about him. A lot of sweepers have won from him. This guy on Twitter, he's on television. He owns Camping World. I think it's Camping World. And he gives away RVs constantly on Twitter. Like, you send him a tweet of your dog, and he gives you an RV. So if you want to win an RV, Marcus Lemonis or something, I can't remember his last name.
What's funny is I seen his tweets, and as I was driving here, I passed a Camping World, and I was thinking, look at all those RVs.
he gives away, he does, every couple of days, he does an hour, a kindness hour or wish hour, and you tell him what your wish is, or like an act of kindness that you need, and he gives them to you. So, and it's on Twitter. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, it's not good. I'm just saying that it's out there.
Oh, Nancy says, I haven't tried Twitter contest yet. Yeah, you know what? It's very easy. And another one on Twitter, if you want to try Dave Lackey. Yeah. He is international. He's actually from Toronto. I've had the pleasure of meeting Dave. And he's really cool. He's super knowledgeable when it comes to cosmetics. And his Twitter giveaways are Tuesdays and Fridays. and they're open globally. Plus, he's very savvy when it comes to social media because he was doing this before anybody else. He'll have exclusive blog giveaways. He'll have exclusive newsletter giveaways. He'll have exclusive Instagram giveaways. And then he has Twitter giveaways. So you need to follow him on all the platforms and his blog and sign up for his newsletter to win.
If you don't know how to do things like Twitter and Facebook, at this point, you need to learn. And that's why the sweepstakes sites are so good, because almost every site not only tells you about sweepstakes and gives you inside information and ways like, rules and pictures and codes and the things that you need. They also have instructional videos or instructional FaceTime, Zoom things, whatever.
Or they can just take my class.
Or they can take the class to learn how to do it. Yeah. But you need to learn because you're losing out on a lot of quick turnaround sweeps happen on social media.
Oh, okay, thanks, Bill. He spelled it out for us. There it is in the comments. So if you want to, I know.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah, I know. We need our reading glasses on.
He gives away every night. This guy gives away tons and tons of stuff. So if you're going to start somewhere, start Dave Lackey or take a look at this Marcus guy and follow him and start to see. And he doesn't ask you for much. He asks you usually to do a hashtag tweet and to write a sentence about whatever he asks you to write the sentence about.
Oh, and Lori, she says I Win Contest is one of the best, but also if you go find her on Twitter, she shares her referral link to Sweep. Get something free, because it's a freemium site. If you want to check it out, what a freemium site is, a lot of them have 2 levels where you can try it out for free for either a week or a month, or they have one section that's free, and then if you pay, you get the other section. So you can, but if they want to check out the format and stuff first before they want to make sure they like this, you can do a little bit on the free side, and then you're like, oh yeah, I like how this is laid out. I like how they organize it. Okay, then I'll pay for the premium part. Only thing is with Tom's, his is only paid, but he did put up, because a lot of people asked, there's on the free section where you can go and read about the site, he's finally put up 2 tour videos so people can see what is behind the paywall, as they call it, and decide if the site is for them. So that's something good that he just finally put up. Oh, Lori, that's funny. She must be reading my mind. I was going to ask her to put up her Twitter handle. It's AK Trading on Twitter. So if you head over to Lori, she's a sweeper. You can probably tag. Oh, I didn't ask permission for that. And that's another good tip from Carolyn. Follow other sweepers. Follow them on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Twitter. Follow other sweepers, and from other sweepers you will find sweepstakes. Just be warned, you will make crazy friends, because also I'm friends with Lori. Unfortunately, we have not done a road trip yet, and this year at the Sweepstakes convention we were so busy, I only managed to get a little bit of time with her. But that's the other problem with the Sweepstakes convention. They're so busy, sometimes you don't get to spend time with all the people you have made friends
unless you
with.
sleep with them. I mean, in the room. Unless you sleep in the room with them. Share a room.
Share the hotel room, because sweepers are also notoriously frugal, and it cuts the cost in half.
Yeah. Share rooms.
Share the room. Yeah. Actually, I know sometimes, and it's AK Trading. AK, it looks like, oh my gosh, I don't have my reading glasses on. AK Trading, AK on Instagram. Okay, well, you can pause the video when it's on demand and reread it, or just look at the comments. Oh, and Lori did say you can tag her. There you go. And also, I do it once in a while. I do tagging Tuesdays in the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club Facebook group. So if you head over there, I haven't done it this week because I was so busy. But next week, look out for Tagging Tuesday again. And sometimes on Wednesdays, I have a giveaway just exclusive within the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club group. So just head over there. I may be a little bit behind in letting in new members because I went off grid for 4 days. No sweepstakes, no cell phone, no nothing.
And that's okay too, by the way. It's okay to take a break. Like, don't feel bad if you go on vacation or if you're having a rough couple of days and you decide, you know what, I don't feel like sweeping anymore. We all go through that. Not a big deal. Don't sweep. The entries you have out there will take care of you. Don't worry about it. Don't.
No, it's true. If I remember the first trip we won. No, it wasn't the first trip we won. It was, I don't know. I was a couple years into sweeping. It was in 2004. And I had a very old computer and the Wi-Fi or the internet in the hotel was terrible. And I couldn't get my entries in. And I remember almost shaking like an addict because I was like, and I thought, this is insane. It doesn't matter. If I'm going to win, I'm going to win. And I just remember shutting the computer and I thought, I'm just going to enjoy this trip. I'm on a trip win. I'm not entering. Forget it. I'm going to enjoy where I am and what I'm doing. And then ever since then, if I miss a day here, I miss a day there. I'm like, if I'm going to win, I'm going to win.
Yeah, don't make yourself crazy. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. So let it stay fun. Don't make it not fun for you because then you're not going to want to do it. So keep it fun. Keep it fun. Keep it light. You know, if you don't win, you don't win. It's okay. It is. It's okay.
I know. But we still like the winning.
Yeah, we'd like to win.
Oh, Lori says she wants me to win a trip to Alaska to come visit her. Yeah, maybe a cruise in the summer because I'm a wuss and I don't like the cold. I've always said when I retire, I want to retire somewhere warm where I can wear flip-flops all year round.
That's one of the 4 C's, actually. They used to have this thing called the 4 C's.
Oh,
sweeping. Yeah. So it was the winning a cash, a cruise, a computer, and a car. Right. So everybody's goal was to hit the 4 C's. So I've done 3 out of 4. I haven't won a car. I won a scooter. What do they call it? A Vespa. I won a Vespa once.
Oh, Vespa.
Yes, I sold it.
I remember that.
Yeah, a little red Vespa. I wanted to win it, but I needed the money more, so I sold it. So that's not really a car, but it's like half a C. So I'm like 3.5 out of 4 the way there to do the other half. But I've won cash, I've won computers, and I've won cruises.
I've won one. I've never won a computer. I've never won a car, and I've never won a cruise. I've won trips, but never a cruise.
Oh, so you haven't done any of the
So I'm way behind, and I've been entering for 20 years. But you know what? I'm still happy with what I win, and it's so fun, and it's great. It's great to see what shows up. And
we were talking before about what was the strangest thing you ever won. I thought that was a really good question, and I thought about it for this little live thing that we're doing. And many, many years ago, there was a sweep, and I think it was Axe deodorant gave away these little keychains of an armpit with hair in it. I don't know if any of you old sweepers remember this, and that's got to be the strangest thing. And I still have it.
Well, yeah, I would keep that.
It's an armpit keychain with the hair from, I think it was Axe deodorant, and I won that. That's probably the strangest thing I ever won.
Is it like troll doll hair?
I don't even know. It's just, and it's not the whole person. It's just the armpit. It's just an armpit with hair. I don't know what.
Okay, if anybody's got something strange, you've got to put it in the comments. Oh, Gretchen was at the convention and she says, I still can't believe that woman at the convention won 14 cars in her life. Yeah,
yes.
But she's also been entering for about 30 years. Not to say that makes it any easier or less amazing, but it's not like she won them all last year. She has done it. And also sweepstakes has really changed over the years, and how people win vehicles has changed. I think there was more locals for vehicles, and I think there was more mail-ins, which had less entries.
Yeah, things
have shifted. Oh, Lori says that won't work. Come to Anchorage and I'll give you an elastic driving tour. Okay, well, we'll see. Yeah. It's okay, Carolyn. Cruises are not a common prize in Canada. No, they're not, but that's okay. We have a lot of comments now. Okay, let's see. Where do we leave off? Yep, that is hilarious. Oh, wait, here's somebody said, I won a Lindbad expedition cruise. Oh, it must be the corporation in Europe from Jeopardy, not the show, just online. Best prize ever. Wow. That's a European. Yeah, those
Yeah.
was it post in the comment, was it the river cruise or the one around like Italy and stuff in the Mediterranean? There's two kinds of European tours.
Yeah, there's the river and then there's the sea.
Yeah,
ones.
the sea
But
ones.
that's cool. No, either way, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh my God, this has got to be hilarious. I won KFC suntan lotion, Kentucky Fried Chicken. George won the KFC fire log. And it's supposedly when you burn it, it smells like KFC. So we'd stink up the whole neighborhood. We haven't used it yet, but now I'm thinking it's getting close to the end of the summer. We got to use this sucker.
Oh, there was a mac and cheese ones that was going on a couple years ago. That was incense, mac and cheese flavored incense. I won it. I tried it. Went to the trash pretty quick. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Oh, someone won a bra, but that's not really weird. I love practical. You know what?
I've heard of people wearing used underwear, like used bras and used socks and stuff like that from a celebrity or from a show or a prop or something.
Oh, I actually, now that you say that, I won that. It was featured in a video. I ended up giving it to someone. It was a cowboy hat, a shirt, and some shorts from some celebrity country singer who was like a size 0. And this was, I think my daughter, it was probably fairly new. She's probably about 2 or 3. She's 20 now, so it was a long time ago.
And those are the things.
And I've been never a size 0, so I think the smallest I ever was a size 6. So even at my thinnest, it wouldn't have fit me. Yeah, now that you say, I totally forgot about that prize. Oh my God, if I've been entering so long, I forgot some of the stuff I won.
There's some weird stuff out there that I know people have won. People have won like parts of race cars, but like a wheel or like a steering wheel or like a hood or something. And most people be like, now what am I going to do with this? You know? And I'm like, well, you entered for it. Like, you know, I don't know what to tell you. You put the entry in. But there's some weird prizes out there. There's some weird stuff out there.
That's totally funny. Used prizing. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know. Like they showed the little postcard with her singing from the video. Is it really her stuff? Who knows? It may not have been. Like they're just saying that. So I don't know. But actually, you know, she said she won a bra. I do like the practical prizes. Like stuff that I use all the time.
Grocery gift cards are beautiful.
Oh, yeah, grocery gift cards. But like I said, that cooler will be used in our backyard. I showed up here and I have a small portable cooler, a soft-sided one. So that was my first hard-sided one. And I said, I love that. And I said, yeah, it's drumstick. Of course I won it.
I just won a bunch of coupons for peanut butter. Like, okay. Now, does it excite me? No, but it's peanut butter. Everybody likes peanut butter, and I'll have peanut butter for like the next year and a half for free. So that's like a useful, and I can give the coupons to people. So that's a useful prize. But I love stuff that's grocery gift cards and, you know, things like that. I really, really, really like, or free Netflix, you know, or free Hulu, or free streaming service. Those are great, kind of very useful. Everybody can use kind of prizes, and those are nice sometimes. Okay,
this one's hilarious. Rochelle says, I won a Weird Coolers fridge alarm clock that holds 1 can of beer. I'm still trying to get rid of it. Now, here's a tip, Rochelle. If you have a prize that's kind of strange that you don't want or need or you will use, first of all, branded stuff sells well on eBay. So you could probably sell it, but you have to have the original packaging. Like you can't have unboxed it all and got rid of everything. So if you have the original packaging, the other thing you can do with it is donate it as a prize to a sweepstakes convention. So for example, one year I won 2 speakers from Ruffles and Budweiser.
Oh, nice.
And it needs like a clicker and it can do Bluetooth or pick up the radio. I think it can put a USB in it, something like that. And I won 2 of them because it was 1 prize per person anyway. I was entering myself and George. It didn't occur to me that we'd both win them.
Oh, how funny.
I'm like, oh, so 2 showed up. I'm like, oh, doubles. So I kept 1 because I thought it was great, but I don't need 2. So I donated 1 to a sweepstakes convention. I probably could have sold it too, but I like sharing with other sweepers and stuff. So I donated before I sold it.
Or somebody might come over your house and go, wow, that's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then you go, here, take it. And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and take it. Like, how much do you want? I'm like, I want it. I don't want anything.
You've done that. I've done that here.
All the time, so many times.
She has a makeup collection to die for. And I'd be like, oh, I love this lipstick. She goes, I got 3 of them. Just take that one.
Very true. Like, please take it.
Oh, congratulations. Wait, somebody won 30 pounds in tonight's lottery in the UK. Yay! You know what? This is the other thing I want people to remember. A lot of people say they want to win the lottery. You don't want to win the lottery. You want to win the grand prize jackpot in the lottery. Because if you say, I want to win the lottery, and you win 30 pounds, you have won the lottery. So the universe is answering your request. You've just manifested what you've asked for. So the good example of this is Jack Canfield years ago. I used to listen to tapes. Oh my God, am I that old? My dad gave me this tape set. I can't remember what it was called. It was Jack Canfield though. And he told the story of when he was teaching people to learn to be specific in what they were asking for or the goals they were setting for in life. And somebody would invariably say, I want more money. So he'd reach into his pocket and toss them a quarter. And they'd go, what's that? And he goes, more money. And they go, I want more money. That's not more money. And he goes, yeah, it actually is more money. And he goes, well, I want more than that. And he's like, but how much? You have to be specific. So if you say, I want to win the lottery and you win 30 pounds, you've won the lottery. So when you're asking for any type of prize or goal or whatever it is, and it doesn't apply to sweepstakes, it applies to life. If you're looking for a specific job or you want a new house, you're hunting you want to move, you're looking to date somebody. I specifically put out there that I wanted the male version of me, and I met George. It's pretty funny because we're very much alike. To the point where he would say something and I'd go, me too. Or I'd say something and he goes, me too. And then one day I remember we were cooking dinner and I was going to tell him to do something. And I said, oh, it doesn't matter. Just do it the way I would do it. And he didn't know how I did it, but then he did it exactly the same. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So you got to be specific.
Be specific. Actually being very specific.
Specific. And it still isn't slouchy. 30 pounds. Congratulations. But if you want to win the bigger prize, ask for the grand prize in the lottery. I didn't get a chance to listen to it today, but I have on Audible Richard Lustig. Now, unfortunately, he has passed away. I have an old podcast interview with him. I know. I think he passed away in actually 2018.
I saw him talking. He was at a Sweepstakes convention. He was the grand prize speaker. He was the keynote speaker.
Yeah, I remember listening at the Sweepstakes convention. I wonder if they should start calling them keynotes and call them grand prize speakers.
Because most of them are grand prize winners.
Yeah, at the Sweepstakes convention, and he is in the. It's either I know he's in Ripley's Believe It or Not. I don't know if he's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
He won like multiple,
but he's won 7 grand prize jackpots from the lottery. And he wrote a book, and I don't think the book is available anymore, but I found it on Audible. It's a 45-minute book, so it's a quick listen. And I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't say yay or nay, but I'm going to give it a listen. And you can't say he doesn't know what he's talking about because he sure did. And they weren't millions. I remember when I interviewed him, one of his tips was he would always enter the state lottery, or in Canada, you'd enter the provincial lottery. So it would be the whatever the smaller one. Like you don't want to enter. He wasn't buying tickets for the Mega Millions or the Powerball, even though someone won a
like
30,000,
40,000,
somebody
70,000.
yeah. So somebody won
the
a
smaller
billion.
ones he was, but he won multiple times.
Some of them were big. Like he won one time. It was like 700,000, I think, and another one was 300 something.
He won enough to make it that he didn't have to work anymore. That his job became talking to other people about the fact that he won. So that was a beautiful thing in and of itself.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's gone. Oh, look, somebody said I won a $750 grocery gift card 2 weeks ago. Oh, Michelle, you are on a roll. You're posting all this stuff. Oh, Dave122, he says, I still have my 2 speakers. That's hilarious. I know, you need your glasses. You're trying to read all the comments. Oh, I saw this. They were at the convention and I laughed so hard. Bill won one of the Oscar Mayer Bologna facial masks at the convention. I sold it right there and then.
Oh, they gave away, that was another one of those weird prizes. A number of years ago, they gave away beanies, Oscar Mayer, the Wienermobile, and they were like beanie toys. And I still have that too. And that was one of the ones that also that with the underarm pit keychain. That's one of the ones that people laughed about as well because it was just a funny kind of thing. Oh,
she says it's been on eBay since I won it. I'd be happy to donate it. You know what? We got to get Rochelle. She didn't come to this year's convention. I'm trying to get her to come to Phoenix.
Carolyn has convinced me to come back to conventions. I have not been to a convention since Vegas.
She's going to be my roomie. So, I talked her into it.
Yeah, I'm going to come to Phoenix. So
I'm telling you, it's addictive going to the.
Come in if you have never been to a convention and you're afraid of I won't know anybody. Like I don't know anybody, especially since COVID. Like people aren't getting together like they used to. You can always look for like Carolyn, and you can always come in and like sit with us and say, "Hey, I don't know anybody. I saw you on Facebook Live. Can I sit with you?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, pull up a chair." You know?
Our table's gonna be full. Actually, Bill's first. Okay, I didn't really have a chance to interview him either. I'm gonna have to have him back on this with the Contest Queen. But Bill owns Sweeping Up Sweepstakes, so go check out his YouTube channel. He just did a convention update, which I unfortunately have not had a chance to watch. That's another thing I want to do. And it was his first convention. He had so much fun. He's going to come back next year. So, and he knew a few people because he was part of the sweepstakes community. And so he knew me, and we did sit together for a little while. And it was so fun, and I got to give him a hug. And he actually had one of my prize magnet. Oh, I got to tell people this. He wore my prize magnet shirt, so I wore it, and my friend Susan wore it. So we have a picture with the three of us with the same. But he also has Captain Billy J. That's how he is online. T-shirts. So I ordered one of his, and it's got his face on it. So I'm like, yay! So next year you're going to see me with his swag, and he's got my swag. I just love this hobby. Where else would I make friends with somebody who lives in another country on the other side of the globe, and then we get to hang out together and have fun and laugh and share.
And I'll tell you also that sweepers, for the most part, tend to be very kind, loving, generous people as a whole. There's something about the hobby that attracts not everybody, but a lot of those kind of people. So there's a common denominator already among people that are into sweeping. There's a certain personality I find that seems to be pretty constant about people that do sweeps at the level that you're at because you're watching a Facebook Live about it. So you resonate with people very quickly because you kind of all vibe on at the same wavelength when it comes to this stuff. And I think that helps a little bit with finding like minds, when like minds get together. So.
Yeah. So Katie says, I stopped entering, but recently I won some yummy snack prizes. Now yes. I call it contest crack, just like you were saying when you entered your first one. And what did you say? I wonder what else I can win. And I do. I call it contest crack. One win and you're hooked. So you just win one thing and you go, wonder what else I can win, because this is awesome.
And don't worry about the value either. I am excited sometimes about something that costs $5 as I am about something that costs $500. It's just the fact that I won it. That's fun and that's exciting. And that makes me part of this exclusive club of other winners. So don't worry about, I only won things that don't cost a lot of money. Doesn't matter. A win is a win, as we say. A win is a win is a win. Doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how small, it's still a win. It means you got something. You got something that somebody else didn't get.
You know what's funny? I've been doing the Circle K contest, and I've been so busy. Sometimes I don't get a chance to go into the store to get the freebies that I've won. But once every couple of weeks I do. And my daughter said to me the other day, "Why are all these Arizona iced teas showing up in the fridge?" And I said, "Because I've been winning them." And she's like, "Of course." Like, what a stupid question to ask in this house.
And it is very funny. I'm living someplace new with somebody that's new. And as we were setting up the house, a lot of things was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "I won it." He's like, "Oh yeah, right." And then like something else, like we put up and goes, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, I won it. By the third or fourth thing, he goes, "Yeah, I know. You won it. Okay, let's move on." So, so I understand what Carolyn is saying. It's actually kind of funny. He's like, "You cheat." I'm like, "No, I don't." He's like, "Yes, you do." I'm like, "No, I don't."
Yeah, that's something. It's funny when you're winning and this is your hobby, the people around you, if they're new, they don't understand it. Like George, for the first summer we were together, and I would go out walking and looking for pin codes, and he was like, "We got to focus on work." He's very work oriented, and I work a lot too. But I said, "Look, I have to exercise, so I could pay the gym and go and walk on a treadmill, or I could put my membership on pause for the summer. I could walk around the neighborhood for free, still get all my exercise, get fresh air, and a chance to win something."
Do you guys remember her on the television show? There was a television show about sweeping.
Yeah, I have it on my YouTube channel. It was called High Stakes Sweep. Well, actually, there's two of them. There's Winning for a Living and High Stakes Sweepers. And they have me out pin code hunting in both of them. And what's really funny is my daughter came with me both those times. And I had so many comments on people saying, "I can't believe you make your kid go out and do that. Yeah. It's terrible." I said, "Do you know how many times she's come pin code hunting with me?" Twice. For television. She does not she's 20. She will sleep till noon. I'm up at 5:10 in the morning to be out before the cycle trucks. I'm up before George. I'm up before her. She does not pin code hunt. She does not do it. She's only done it twice, and it was when the cameras were there. That was it. This is not something she does. Now, she will spot sweepstakes. I remember one time I went grocery shopping, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to go grab the apples and whatever." So I went over to the produce section, and I said, "Go get some snacks." And she was taking an inordinate long time. So I finally have all this stuff, and I didn't bother getting a cart because we're only getting a few things. So I got my armful of groceries, and I chuckle over to the chip aisle, and I look down, and she's got her phone up, and I figure out what she's doing. She's found a sweepstakes on the bag of chips, and she was taking pictures of the front and back, so I would read the rules and how to enter and make sure that we're in. I'm like, this is my kid. I love this kid.
My daughter,
she's a sweep. She's so trained.
I think it was last year. I have a grown daughter, but she's gone through all those sweepstakes years with me as well, and done a lot of the trips and gotten a lot of the gain from it. And I remember we were in the mall, and again, she's an adult. We were in the mall, and there was a QR code sweep in one of the mall back to school sweeps or something. And I walked past her, and she was like, "Mom, what are you doing? Get back here. Like, we have to do the sweep." And she won. She won like a $50 Five Below gift card, and she was like really happy. But
I love that store.
Yeah, so she learned that you don't walk by a texting sweepstake without taking a picture of the picture that you see, so you know the code word and the texting, the texting code and a copy of the URL of the rules. I mean, she knows this. And, she does it too. So it actually is something kind of fun that you can also kind of get your kids in on as well. They do also have a lot of sweepstakes geared towards under 12 years old, 12 and under. Lots and lots of sweepstakes. Cartoon networks, toy companies, a lot of the like Legoland and Disney World and whatever world, wherever you live, they have a lot of local kind of contests where kids like draw a picture or do a video or something, and the contests are only open to kids under 12. So if you want to get your kids involved, you want to do something that's kind of family oriented, you actually, it's pretty easy to do that.
It's great. Oh, Katie says, I'm excited for holiday season. I used to win a ton of things on Instagram during the holidays. Instagram giveaways are the best for useful prizes. I call that sweepstake season, and it basically happens between, it used to be December 1st, but I've noticed it's almost like people want to get a jump on it. So it went back to American Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like
and this last year, I saw it all the way back to mid-November. So sweepstakes season normally that used to start December 1st is now from like November 15th. So you got to get it geared up. And then what you find is there's two kinds of ones that tend to be happening. The 12 days of giveaways, which are generally December 1st to December 12th, or the December 12th to December 24th, or the ones that have the 24 days of giveaways, which is from the 1st to the 24th. But December 12th is really, I did a little blog post on it called Double Double Day. In Canada, Tim Hortons coffee chain, kind of like Dunkin' Donuts, if you walk in and order a double double, everybody knows what you're getting. You're getting 2 cream, 2 sugar. And it seems to be the standard coffee order, double double. And so it really is like a double double day because half of them are ending on the 12th and half of them are beginning on the 12th. So you have twice as many to enter that day than any other day. So it's the busiest day for holiday sweepstakes. But yeah, and be careful. Don't go too fast because it's very easy to end up in Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram jail, especially Instagram, for tagging too much too quick.
Yeah, take your time.
You know what? I don't enter hundreds. I don't tag hundreds of people. I have 5 to 10 people that I tag on a regular basis. And if I tag 5 regular, and if it's something I really want to win, I'll tag 10, and that's it. I'm like, if I'm going to win it, I'm going to win it.
And with my group, we tag each other. I tag them, they tag me. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. So just get ready for that. Oh, I see. Wait. Bill just gave me a plug. He said, join Carolyn's virtual contest club meeting on Zoom. We meet every 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, and I charge, the next one is, I believe, the 31st. I think. I could be wrong. Go check my events calendar on my website to be sure. I charge $1 to attend. I do that for 2 reasons. One, it helps me track who's coming. And 2, it helps me limit the number of people that attend, and it also helps cover because I use Zoom. I have the paid version of Zoom, so it just helps me cover my costs. So it just keeps that. Oh, someone said they had won keychain underwear. I've lost the comment, but that just sounds very funny.
They should do at the convention. They should do like a whole talk about the strangest prize I ever won. I bet you there's some really good stories.
Someone says, I wish they would bring the sweepstakes shows back. They're fun to watch.
The problem they had, I know, with the commercial sweepstakes shows is because we cannot predict when we're going to win, everything you saw was contrived. So when somebody went out to their mailbox and all of a sudden there was a winning sweepstake near, it was planted. They actually did win that sweepstake, but they won at a different time. Because we cannot predict when we're going to win a prize, it's almost impossible to do a show. They've tried a number of times.
You got to hear this story. So I had I had the film crew at my house for 2 days. So I was in High Stakes Sweepers. So it's I can't remember the name of the production company, but it's going to be on TLC. So this is a very high-end production company. I mean, they had the huge HD camera. I mean, the lens on this thing was like a huge rectangle. So they were, at one point, I said, look, I have these codes. I can do these instant prizes. Let's see if I can win something. So my office was in such a shape. The guy stood in the corner, literally with the camera here. Like, it was right here. My daughter was sitting on my lap. My laptop was in front of me. He's filming. I'm entering the code. I can't get this thing to work for love or money. I try another browser. I try entering something else. I can't get this damn thing to work. 20 minutes. Now, the lights are on. They have the big lights, the microphone, the whole thing. There's like 6 people in my office. It's starting to become an oven. I mean, the office was only like 10 by 10. So finally, they're like, yeah, I'm like, I can't get it to work. I don't know why it's not working. I tried all these different things. I couldn't get it to work. They're like, yeah, okay, you know what? We're going to go film something else. I said, well, do you mind if I sit here and figure this out? Because now I'm getting frustrated with it. They're like, yeah, sure. So, and my daughter was getting heavy on my lap. And finally, they leave. I sat there and I figured out what I did wrong, and I won a prize.
They weren't there to hold it.
They had just left.
Yeah,
You can't predict when you're going to win. And I'm like, are you serious? I had the camera here.
Yeah, that's
and I finally got it to work. And the producer even said to me prior to filming, do you know what grand prizes you're going to win in the next 2 weeks? And I'm like, okay, first of all, buddy, if I could do that, no one would have heard of me. I would just be winning lots of amazing things. I'd be living on a private island somewhere, just raking it in.
That's why the sweepstakes shows didn't work. There was one in production at one point, I remember, that I was interested possibly in participating with. And again, the same thing. Because we cannot predict when we're going to win and what we're going to win, it's impossible to do a show unless it's contrived, unless the person has won the stuff before and they're pretending to open it and they're pretending to win it. And I guarantee you, almost everything that you've seen on television was set up. They weren't.
Really they were. Like we did win the prizes that we said.
But they won it 6 months previous.
Well, not that long ago.
Or 3 months.
It was close. But even while the cameras were there, it was just hilarious. Okay, so she says, "Quit." Christmas sweepstakes season is exhausting, but it's fun keeping up with, and you can't keep up with them all. Someone's in the UK. She's going to bed, but she said, "Thank you for your advice. I'll start asking the universe for the top lottery prize." Okay, when you win, invite me over. And Beverly says it is the 31st, so that's good. We should start to wrap this up. Because it's 9:21.
Oh my God, we went like
I know.
It's supposed to be an hour.
I know.
That's my bedtime. I need to sleep. My boyfriend's sawing wood in the back of there.
I know. It's been a long day. I was driving all day to get here, but it was worth it.
We took her out for Chinese food and ice cream, but she didn't have any ice cream.
No, I was so full. Oh my gosh, I got treated well. This is why you make friends. Okay, so
and she's gonna come back to see me.
I will come back to see you, and we're going to the convention together. So, and if you've never been, I think it's AZ Sweeps. Just go to my website and look under Meet Fellow Sweepers. And I have all the convention links there.
And I think Carolyn tagged me in this live. So feel free if you want to come. I do post a lot of sweepstakes on my Facebook. And if you want to friend me, reach out and friend me. I'll accept your friend request. If you have any questions you want to ask me, or you need advice, or whatever, if I don't know the answer, I will direct you to the person to get you the answer. And
okay, there's a bag there. Zinnia asked, what is pin code hunting? So here, grab the bag that's there. So I brought my codes with me because they won't do me any good at home. So what you do is you look for, I don't think there's any, I can't see any of the specially marked ones, but you're looking for packaging, like the soda pop or the beer, or the yellow lids, or for example, this one, there's one.
Or receipts.
No, yeah, the receipts, but that's not a pin code. So this one.
Yeah, it's a pin code.
I call them receipt contests, not pin code contests.
No, that's a different one.
See, so this one says win $10,000, and on the inside, which you can barely see, in red ink on silver paper, so it's like, sometimes I actually get out my loop or my magnifying glass to read it. And then you enter that on the contest site. So you can enter these on the contest sites and you get in to win. Now, some contests, like in Canada, the Pepsi one this year, you could use a code or you could just use a UPC, which to me kind of defeated the purpose of this. But this one, unless you have the code, you can't enter. So I walk around the neighborhood and go through people's recycling, and I pick up those codes because I do drink the soda, but I can't drink that much soda. I don't even drink beer. That's George's department.
But receipts too. Acme has a sweepstake going on, Acme Supermarket, that if you buy certain products, on the receipt they print a code. And there's a website you go to and you put that code in and you can win. That's a receipt. That's
That's a pin code.
That's a pin
Okay,
code.
that's
And you
new.
can pick up the receipts. People throw them out. They leave them in the supermarket shopping carts. They throw them out right there by the registers. And I pick them up when they're in season to do a sweepstake, when they have a specific code on the receipts. I picked up the receipts and taken them home, put the code in.
I've never seen that. I would totally do that too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I think we've covered everybody's questions. I'm always going live, so stay tuned. And I hope to see you at a club meeting or part of the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club Facebook group.
And maybe one day Karen will come and see you, and you can feed her.
No, I'm not going to come sit everybody's house, but
Why
see
not?
me at the convention.
You came to my house more than once.
Yeah, but I've known you for it's like 15 years. Okay, we're going to end this before we get too loopy. And we haven't had anything to drink.
No.
Nothing. This is
No.
just what sweeping and friendship does. And a long day. Punchy. Okay, bye until next time.